Had an opportunity earlier this week to talk about BYU's defensive line, especially the defensive end position with Bodie Schoonover. Now, Bodie is a guy that is currently running with the twos. He's a backup behind Tyler Batty for the BYU defense, and you've probably seen him out there, number 48. He looks like a Superman out there because he's just absolutely jacked, and you're about to see it if you're watching this on YouTube, how jacked he is even outside of wearing his pads. This is a young man who is beefed up. I remember watching him in high school thinking, man, this could be the next great outside linebacker for BYU. Well, he bulked up just a little more than I think any of us anticipated. Now he's a standout defensive end for the BYU football program. What is it going to take for BYU to have success against Avery Johnson? What is his transition from being that svelte linebacker at American Fork High School into a big, burly defensive end for the BYU football program been like? Well, we tell all that and a whole lot more right now with Bodie Schoonover.
I want to start off. I remember covering you in high school, and you were this svelte linebacker. Now you're this big, burly defensive end. So how did this all come to pass overall?
Yeah, so I got home from my mission. I was about 215.
Yeah.
And right away I started working out, started eating food, gained 40 pounds in like 5 months, They were like, okay, that's a DN body, so move me to DN.
Have you liked the transition to playing on the line?
Yeah, I so far I've loved it. I mean, linebacker was great, but I mean, it's a lot more complicated, a lot more, in honesty, like thinking. But so DN is a lot more just hit somebody and make a play. So I love DN. DN is hella fun.
What aspect of defensive end was the toughest for you to adapt to? Does that make sense?
I'd say just being, like, the play happens so much faster than that linebacker. Linebacker, I can sit back and like watch everything happen, but DN is like you're right there, right up in it. So that's the hardest thing.
You're engaging with linemen every single down.
That's another thing. Is like I'm going 100% every play. Where linebacker, I'll still go 100%, but I could like chill for a second. Okay. But DN is just go. So that was a big adjustment too.
What do you like most about this defense at that position?
I feel like there's a lot of pressure. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Because a lot of the plays just come to our gap. They naturally just come to us. So if we're not doing our job, everyone's going to notice. So it gives us the chance to make a lot of plays, but also it's a lot of pressure. But
now you're playing behind guys like Tyler Batty, and Tyler's been here forever. I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like, he's been playing for quite a while.
Yeah.
What has he done to help you adapt to playing the position?
So much, actually. It's been such a blessing. It's been frustrating at times, but it's been such a blessing to have him here, like helping me out and just giving me tips and everything. I say just the technique in general, because he's been here for so long, he's been doing it for so long, he just knows a lot. So he's been helping me, tweaking my technique and all that. So
Now, guys like Isaiah Bagnah are a different type of defensive end. They kind of play the opposite end where it's more of a pass rush role. I know that you play both sides. What has he done to help you as well?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing because Bagnah's been here for a long time too, or at least he's been with Coach Pop for a long time at Boise State. But it's just mostly the same thing, just different things, reading plays, like pre-snap alignments and reads, and just technique overall. So,
how do you feel your overall development is coming along? Because I know you're a redshirt sophomore at this point, so you've been playing the position for a little bit now, but you're finally starting to move into the 2 deep here, and I would figure in the future you're looking at a starting position.
Yeah. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great about DN. I'm feeling good about the future. Like, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can right now from Batty and from the veteran guys, so that when they leave, I can really take the mantle. So,
now you mentioned Coach Pop. What has he meant to you in terms of your overall development, just him as a coach?
I mean, everything. Coach Pop I've learned so much from him being here for the past 2 years. It's been amazing just getting coached by him. He's just so helpful, and he just really cares about us. So, yeah.
Now, this year there was a change at the NCAA where analysts can help coach. I know that Chad Kauha'aha'a, Chad K for most people, he's working with you guys. Same with Gary Anderson. What have those guys done to help you?
Yeah, they lots of pass rush. Mostly they focused mostly on pass rush. So they've just been running drills with us and getting our pass rush moves down. But I don't know, shout out Coach Jan Jorgensen.
Yeah.
He was here
2
years ago, but he was the guy that really. When I moved, he helped me a lot too with pass rush and with just technique as well. So, yeah.
Now the pass rush has been absolutely up. You guys have, you're on a pace that's going to just blast past last year's sack totals, tackles for loss, all just the havoc type plays. What can you point to that's caused you guys to be able to do that so far?
I would say just confidence in the defensive scheme. Really, I feel that's what it comes down to. Everybody knows their job and everybody's doing their job, and everybody's confident that our teammates are going to do the job as well. So I say that's what it is.
We heard a message last year a lot from the guys like, do your 111th. Do you feel like it's finally ingrained that, hey, accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish and we're all going to have success?
Yeah, I feel 100% that's what's going on right now.
I also wanted to ask you, just so looking forward to this week, Big 12 opener, Kansas State under the lights at LaVell Edwards Stadium. What does it mean to you to have them in town?
It's just exciting. Like, of course, it's going to be our toughest game for sure, but at the end of the day, it's just another team coming to lose. So, I'm just excited to go out and kick some butt.
Coming in to lose. Yeah. I like that mentality. Yeah. Now, you guys are wearing those throwback uniforms. Are you a guy who likes uniforms? Do you worry about stuff like that?
I don't want to try to worry about it too much, but, like, I do notice if some players got some more swag than others, you know what I mean? But I don't really embody that myself. Okay. I try to keep it simple, focus on my play, and that's it. But I'm excited for these uniforms, though.
Now, as a defensive end, you have contained responsibilities, and this is a quarterback that Avery Johnson's top 5 in the country probably in terms of scramble ability. What's the key to slowing a guy like that down?
To be honest, everybody's doing their job.
Okay.
If we're doing our job across the front, we'll be fine. I know that. Like, we have confidence in our scheme and everything, so as long as we all just do our job, gap sound, we'll be all right.
Now, QB run has kind of been one of the elements of this defense that you guys have struggled with a little bit. Have you guys tweaked anything to hopefully slow that down and make that maybe more of a strength going forward?
Yeah, we've tweaked a little bit, but not too much. So it's really just doing our job. That's what it comes down to, really.
Now, final thing for me is overall Kansas State is known as a power program. And Kalani has preached he wants you guys to be a tough program. And in my mind, Kansas State those are one of the programs you look at and say, no, that's a tough program. Are you looking forward to that challenge of taking these guys on?
100%. Coaches are always talking about this season and placing our fingerprint on the Big 12 and just showing everybody what we're about. And so far, that's exactly what we're doing. So I'm excited to show it again this Saturday.
That is Bodie Schoonover, and a big thank you to him for taking the time to join us here on the podcast. I really enjoyed that conversation. You can tell that he's happy to be where he's at with the BYU football program. I can remember his recruiting situation. Like, he committed elsewhere and then flipped back to BYU, and it's just a whole convoluted mess. But it's good to have guys like that in the program. You can tell he's excited to be out under the lights at LaVell Edwards Stadium, taking on Kansas State tomorrow night. And as he mentioned, you got to be wary of keeping your contain, especially as a defensive end. He talks about it. A lot of action comes to the defensive ends in BYU's defense. You got to be able to make those plays, and you can tell that he is ready to go out there and prove himself. But the good news is he's got Tyler Batty. He's got Logan Latui. He's got Isaiah Bagnah. Those other guys at defensive end as well as the defensive tackles alongside him. This BYU D-line, I'm expecting them to have a big game, and if they do, it's going to go a long way to helping BYU notch that upset over Kansas State on their home turf. It's not very often BYU's a home underdog, but it's that case in this one. I know that Scott Van Pelt picked BYU to cover, didn't necessarily pick him outright to win, but the line, our friends over at FanDuel, et cetera, have it at -6.5, so nearly a touchdown in terms of a favorite for Kansas State. But if you include the old adage that 3 points are argument to the home team, they think they're 10 points better than BYU. So I look forward to this. I think it's a big opportunity for BYU under the lights. And I think that Bodie Schoonover, as well as his compatriots on that BYU football program, you can tell they're ready to rock and roll, and should be a fun night out there under the lights tomorrow night.